Hi guys! Now that we're going remote, Rhonda asked a few of us teachers to be able to give you guys some videos, pointers, tips, different things to help you strengthen your practice. So Rhonda asked me to show you guys a few more of the advanced poses within our sequence, places that your practice can go once you have proper alignment, you've been practicing for a while, you have self-confidence in these poses, and of course, most importantly, you're under the instruction and watchful eyes of a licensed river flow teacher. The first more advanced pose I'm going to show you guys is a deeper back bend in Ardha Chandrasana with Paschimottanasana. As a reminder, Ardha Chandrasana with Paschimottanasana is our first pose after pranayama. It is our 360-degree bend of the spine. So a lot of times as a teacher, I see students who are a bit more afraid, nervous to drop back into a deeper back bend. So first thing is, most importantly, is back bends are all about trust. You need to trust yourself and have confidence in your own practice, and then ask for a teacher to watch over you to just instill that trust once again. So I'm going to walk you guys through doing a back bend myself. If I seem out of breath, don't worry, I am breathing properly. Just sometimes it's hard to speak when your body is in that particular position. So do not be alarmed. First thing is we come out of Ardha Chandrasana from the left to right. Our arms are up overhead, our arms are locked, palms are pressed, no space in between. So step one here, after we've come back to center, is to bring the weight back to our heels. If you look, my toes are actually hovering right now just to prepare. Place the toes down, but keep that weight stationed back. Now, go through a little checklist from bottom to top. Feet are anchored. Then you squeeze the glutes and push the hips forward. Lift up through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades back, pull the arms up, no space in the palms. Then gently tip the head back. Lift up through the chest, the low spine, squeeze everything back, squeeze the glutes forward, squeeze the chest up, squeeze the hips forward. Now, this is where a lot of people get to. Relax, trust, and lift. Push the hips forward. Go all the way back. And now while you're down here, gaze down to the floor. Go back, relax, push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, lift the chest, and change. Come all the way up, squeezing up, lifting up. Deep breath in, hips are forward, and then you go into your forward bend. Spine is straight, arms are locked, eyes are forward, belly is in, coming all the way down to your forward bend. Back bending. So then moving through the sequence, you would continue with Ardha Chandrasana, Utkatasana, Garudasana. Next is going to come Dandayamana Janushirasana. So this one is our standing forehead to knee pose. There's a lot of flexibility we have here with this pose. Different stages. I'm going to help you through each stage with most importance. So no matter what standing balancing pose you are doing, the core of the pose is going to be your locked standing leg. So to help you guys, I'm going to start on the left side as opposed to the right, so you can really focus on what my locked standing leg is doing for the camera. So you want to anchor your foot, all four corners of the foot equally grounded. When I say all four corners, I mean your pinky toe here, your inner edge of your big toe, the ball of the foot, and two sides of the back of the foot. It's your outer foot and the back edge of the arch. Really ground that down. Think like roots of a tree. Now, lock that thigh muscle, suck it up into the hip socket. Next thing, this pose is all about core. So what you want to do is you want to engage your core here. All of these muscles, so your abs and all of those other muscles, especially females, we have all those other muscles that can really be squeezed. Lift your chest up, arms out like a globe. This helps protect your low spine right here. Lift up through the chest, flex the foot. Belly in, belly in, belly in, coming forward now. Now you want to interlace all 10 fingers under the ball of that foot. And we're starting here. So you notice I have that locked standing leg. I have my belly in, my gaze is forward, and I'm bringing my knee, my heel underneath my standing knee. This is part one here. If you're comfortable here, flex the toes out, gaze forward, belly in, chest lift, shoulders drop back, kick your heel out, keeping your toes flexed back towards your face, gazing forward the whole time. Now, once we're here, bring the elbow tips below the calf muscles, suck the belly in, and begin rounding in, bringing the forehead to knee here. Once forehead is to knee, suck the belly in, and you can begin releasing the hands. As you can see, That's kind of where I'm at in my practice, but my belly was in the whole time, locked standing leg, never flinched, never bent, no wiggle in the knee. And as you move through each pose, your abs stay in. So you want to avoid kicking back into that hip. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like just so you can avoid it. So chest lifts, lift up, belly in, flex foot. Okay. When I say kicking back into the hip, I mean like this. I can't even do it. You lean back. You want to avoid that. Belly in. Chest lifts. Gaze forward. Now if you notice, I am way more level of that L shape of my body. So if you avoid kicking back into that hip, you engage your abs, push your chest forward, and also engage the back muscles here to help you be more stable in the pose. Whew. Now we're going to move on to Dandayamana Dhanurasana. Standing bow pulling. Once again, strong leg, strong thigh. All four corners of that foot equally ground down. You're going to bend the elbow to the waist with the palm up. Drop the hand outside the palms, outside of the room. Now, I'm going to kind of spin so you guys can see better. If you're just beginning this pose, you always want to grab the foot. If you see the toes come up behind the head, you're going to begin the pose grabbing the shin. Okay? So for all intents and purposes, I'm going to start with the foot, then I'll show you the shin, then I'll show you the knee. So, hips square, arm drop, scoop the foot, point the toe, drop your shoulder back. Anchor the foot, anchor the thigh, sweep the arm up by the ear, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Now, drop your shoulder. So if you're left right now, you're dropping your left shoulder. Bring the foot up behind the head. Start by elongating the knees, squeezing the glute up. Now right now I'm seeing the toes peek behind the head. Once you do, chin to shoulder, keeping the chest nice and lifted. Now begin coming parallel to the floor. Breathing in, straightening that leg, and change. Now for the shin. Same process, chest lifts, hips forward, drop the hand. Now scoot towards the shin. Drop the shoulder back, sweep the arm up, anchor the foot, lift the chest. Same process, point the toe, bring that leg straight up. Once you see the toes, chin to shoulder, come forward. Now once you're here, relax kind of back into the hamstrings, pushing that leg straighter to get it to more of a standing split. And change. Okay, finally the knee. Anchor the foot once again. Locked standing leg. Arm is out, chest lifts, arms drop. Scoot that hand down towards the knee now. Arm is up, point the toe. Chest lifts, shoulder drops back. And begin. Now coming back straight in the knee, right up. Kind of push the spot that's now open between your legs, straight back at the back wall. Chin to shoulder, and come into that standing split. Beautiful. Stand for a breath. All right. Next pose I'm going to show you a bit more advanced in is going to be for Dandayamana Paschimottanasana. So, I'm going to come this way for you guys. In this pose, we are having a wide stance, toes pigeon-toed in here, abs in. And one of the biggest things I can say to help you guys is kind of roll your hips forward so you have a straight line. Arms out, T position. As you come into your swan dive and you come nice and down towards your ragdoll, you're going to kind of find what space that you have here. Now, to be more advanced, you're going to actually shorten your stance. I'm going to show you guys the difference here. Wide stance, bend the knees, grip onto the outsides of the arches of the heels. Your elbow tips are going to bend along with your knees, so your forearms and your shins kind of have a parallel line here. Now you're going to gaze down, lead with your breastbone by squeezing your shoulder blades back and lifting your hips. Now, if you guys can see, my forehead touches the mat. This is where the advanced part comes in. On your second set, or before your setup in the first set if you're doing an express, you want to shorten your stance. So as you guys can see, I brought my right foot in about 3 to 4 inches, okay? I'm going to re-pigeon toe. I'm going to come back in now. So, chest lifts, arms up, hips forward, and swan dive. Belly in, belly in, belly in. Come all the way down, straight spine. Ragdoll. Okay, bend those knees, grip the outsides of the feet. Now, same process. Gaze down, squeeze the shoulder blades back, align the elbow tips with the outsides of the shins, and lift the hips. Now, if you notice, my forehead is not touching the mat. I am still lifting the hips, getting an awakening through the hamstrings. However, it is much more intense now because my distance between my feet is much shorter. So I'm getting much more of an awakening and strengthening and lengthening of the hamstrings. Change. So sometimes an advanced pose is not as impressive looking, but it has a lot of benefits to it. Next one I'm going to get into is Dandayamana Vipaktipada Janushirasana, standing forehead to knee. So it's going to be inhale, arms overhead, shallow step, pivot and turn. Now, once again, great place to work for our students. Your heels are in a straight line. If you notice, it's not my feet. My feet being in a straight line would look like this. I'm incredibly wobbling off balance. You want to stand as though you are a gymnast on a balance beam. Turn the heel out slightly. I'll step up a little bit for you guys to see that. Turn the feet out slightly so your heels are here in a straight line. Hips square up forward. Arms up. No bend in those arms. Now, here is the part where we're going to come into that deep chin tuck all the way in. Squeeze your abs in. Bring your shoulders in. Come down nice and low. Now here is where you take the hands to either side of the feet. If you're doing a bit more of an advanced series, do not do that. Come right in to palms in prayer. Bring your forehead to knee. Suck the belly in. Push the back heel down. Keep the arms nice and elongated. And breathe. If you're fine here, you can release the arms. Gazing up towards the navel, forehead to knee, chin is tucked. Breathe. Keep those hips nice and level as well. Now, if you're having your hands back, open your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades back as well. And change. To move out of this pose, abs in the whole way. Sweep the arms up. And then you pivot towards the opposite side. Alrighty? Beautiful. Next advanced sequence is going to be for Tadasana, tree pose. I'm going to stand sideways for you guys so that way you can kind of see more of the alignment that needs to happen with my knees. Luckily in the studio we have mirrors 360, so it's much easier to see this alignment. For me, I'm going to be kind of guessing at it based upon what I see in front of me, so I'll do my best. I'm going to use my right leg on this one. Anchor the leg, once again, standing pose, all four corners of that foot ground down, thigh is locked. You're going to bend the leg up, place the hand on top of the same, so if you're doing right, it's right hand. Then opposite hand, so for me on the right side, the left hand comes under, pull the heel down, drop the knee down, grasp the foot from behind, point the toe. Now, go through your checklist. Anchor the foot, root, lock the thigh, rise. Roll the hips under a little bit so your tailbone is under and your hips are coming forward. Grasp the foot, hand finds heart center here. Shoulders drop back, chin is down and level. Now here's where the advanced part comes in. You want to open the hip by keeping the hips forward and dropping that knee back so eventually the knees will align. Now, if you're working here and that's great, you can get into toe stand. I have not toe standed in about 2 weeks, so bear with me guys. Palms are in prayer, thumbs at heart center, gaze is forward. Then you're going to suck the belly in, come forward, all the way down, dangle the arms towards the floor, take the weight to the fingertips. Now, part 2. You want to gaze about 4 to 6 feet in front of you, keep your belly in, come up off of your heel onto your toes, keep that gaze 4 to 6 feet in front of you, breathing in, breathing out, grip with the toes, Toe stand. And change. Fingers come forward, gaze back down, lift up from the toes, keeping your foot locked in its place in the hips crease right here. Now, belly in, gaze up the wall, rise. And then change. And then you repeat on the left side as well. Hope we're all feeling good so far. I'm going to move into a few more of the advanced poses on the floor series. With the floor, honestly, getting in with a lot of depth in these poses and being able to really just let go is the biggest part. So when you go through Cobra, when you go through Salvasana, Purna Salabhasana, all of those poses are meant to awaken and open your chest. So honestly, the best advice I can give to those poses is going to be to just let go. It's a struggle from within. It will not be a struggle if you just surrender. So surrender to your feelings, surrender to your emotion to get deeper into those. I'm going to move into Dhanurasana floor bow to show you guys, one, a different variation of it. Second of all, how to get deeper into it with the standard pose that we have. So, for Dhanurasana, you're going to have your chin on the mat. You bend the legs up behind you. You're going to grab the outsides of the feet here. Now, here's where the first part of this pose can help. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades back on the inhale, and on the exhale, you propel the kick. When you propel the kick, you're going to bring your knees up and your chest up at the same time. So it's going to look like this. Shoulders drop back. Point your toes up. Inhale deep. Exhale, kick back, look up. Now, if you notice, my knees are up off the mat. My chest is lifted, my eyes are up. Now at this point, my chest is open. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades back. And I'm exhaling, I'm kicking my knees up higher, pointing those toes, bringing the knees closer together. Exhale again, kick, 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 and change. Now, if floor bow was a bit, I don't want to say the word easy, but if you're not feeling as much awakening, there is a secondary variation that you can do, flipping the grip. Just as a sidebar, I've been practicing almost every single day for the past 5 years. I finally got into this variation this year. So this is something that's going to take a while for you guys, so don't be frustrated if you're not there, and also do not rush this process. So, you're going to reach to the outside of your foot. You're going to bring the foot towards the side of you. You're going to kind of grab it underneath so the palm is on the top of the foot. Then you bend the elbow, twist forward, flipping the grip. Repeat again. Okay, flip. Now at this point, gaze up, exhale, kick. Bring the head back, kick the knees high. Bring the knees together. Then release, same way. Floor bow. Next advanced pose. Supta Virasana, fixed firm. Now with this pose, it's about tight hips. Part of the challenge, but joyful challenge of this pose is just getting the hips down. So in order to do so, take the fingers to either side of the body, lift the chest up, push up, and then separate the heels with that figure 8 motion of the hips. Now one really great tip that I have found is if you just kind of sit straighter, your natural posture will bring your weight back and naturally have the hips come down. I always tell my students that at this point, deep breath is the most important thing. Your body does not speak English, does not speak French, Spanish, does not understand when you verbalize to it. Love letters to the body are deep breaths. It tells the body everything is okay. So breathe deep. Once the hips are down, hands can be forward like this, and then they just slide back towards here. Fingertips forward, palms are flat on the balls of the feet. Gaze up, squeeze the shoulders back, and drop back one elbow tip at a time. Let the head hang, gazing down, And then let the head touch down and gently roll to the low spine. Once you're here, tip your knees down. You'll feel an awakening over the tops of the thighs. Tip them down and bring the hands up overhead to grasp opposite elbow tips. I really hope you guys can see me. If you can't, I do apologize, but actually the main point going on is with my low body. So if you look, I'm going to relax my glutes here. I see my knees hover. When I squeeze my glutes in and I push the knees down, I am way more in alignment. And now I just relax the shoulders and that low back's going to fall down a little bit more. So tip the knees down, squeeze the glutes in, feel the awakening over the tops of the thighs. And change. Come up the same way you got into the pose, head is hanging, come up last. The next advanced pose I'm going to show you guys is camel. Camel is something to be very, very careful with. It is a huge awakening for the entire nervous system. It opens the hips and the heart, two areas where we really carry a lot of trauma. So if you feel a type of nausea, discomfort, anxiety, it's completely normal. But camel is also a major back bend and only should be done under the supervision of a teacher who's okayed you to get into this part of the pose. For all intents and purposes, I am going to start with my hands on heels to show you guys the advanced part of full camel. Now, as always, getting into camel, you have that 6-inch hip width gap. You always want to have the knee and ankle in a straight line and the feet flat. Sometimes with students, I see the feet come in like this, or sometimes I see the feet like this. You want to always have those feet nice and flat and anchored and in a straight line with the knees. Next thing is hands return to low spine. The pinky fingers are going to be parallel to one another, like this behind the back. When you have a mirror in front of you, you're going to see you kind of have these fairy wings here, really belt them back. I often joke with my students and I say, you want to look at that knight from Monty Python that got all his arms and legs cut off? 'Tis but a flesh wound. That's what you want to look like in the mirror to yourself. So, gaze is forward, squeeze the shoulder blades back, drop the head back, and begin pushing the hips forward. Now relax the throat and go back. Once you're back here, reach for the heels. Now once you're here, grab those heels nice and tight like doorknobs, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the hips, push the hips forward. Part 1. Part 2, I always scoop the hands back a little bit, lift from the chest, gaze down. Once you see your mat, you know you're ready to move into full camel. Okay, full camel. First way to start, the knees are going to go a little bit wider. This time, you can have a bit more of that angle with the foot. Hands to low spine once again to lift up. Then, bring the hands forward. I always start with the hands on the low spine just so you can feel your spine in alignment and the hips forward. Then you want to grab your thighs here. Lift the chest up and begin dropping the head back. Once you're back and you're comfortable and you can see your toes, release the hands and go to grab for those toes. There we go. Once you grab for your toes, push the hips forward and elongate the arms. If this is comfortable for you, that's great. Breathe here. If you want to get deeper, walk the hands towards the heels, towards the ankles. Relax the throat and then come back until the forehead can touch down between the feet. And change. Full camel. Very awakening. Okay, countering with our major back bend, we're going to major forward bend, Sasangasana rabbit. Palms are going to be forward, grabbing the heels from behind, thumbs on the outside, fingers on the inside grip, lifting the chest up. Lift the chest, gaze is forward, and on your exhale, you lean back, curl inward, curl all the way, kind of even go into your lap here, pulling your head down towards your knees. Now, do not go any further if your forehead does not touch your knees. However, if it does, feel free to walk your hands back on your feet a little bit more, kind of lengthen your arms out, and then on the exhale, lift the hips up. Remember, there's no weight on the head here. You're just going to keep on walking those hands back till the arms are straight. Now, once we're here, really tuck and kind of pop up through the back of the spine. You want to feel a really beautiful awakening between the shoulders and spine here. So kind of pop, tuck the head even more, lift the hips, and change. Sasangasana. Beautiful. All right. Final more advanced pose I'm going to show you guys is going to be in Jani Sharasana with Paschimottanasana. This is after, actually I have one more after this, sorry about that. This is after you've done the left to right. This is after right side, left side, and we're going to lay down for our sit-up. So, a couple different things. When you're forward, grab your first two toes, walk the hips back onto those sits bones, like always. Now, one common thing I see is a lot of roundedness here, because we want to come forward with straight legs. It's best to bring the knees straight up. Now, I always say to my students, keep the arms on the outsides of the knees, that grip, thumbs up. Squeeze your shoulder blades back, push your chest to your thighs, and lift. You'll see that nice flat spine, square chest in the mirror. That's when you can begin bringing your legs out. Keeping that same lifted feeling. Now, do not roll forward. Pull the shoulders down. Lift the chest up, and that's when you can begin to come forward. And then change. Okay. Final, more advanced sequence here is Ardha Chandrasana, half spinal twist. So, I'll do the left side. I think of the best angle here. I think this is the best angle, actually kind of on angle for you guys. So as you can see, my foot right here is outside of my hip. There is no heel under hip. Then what you want to do is place the big toes flat down as you have this nice crossover here. Big toe must stay flat. Take your hand, anchor at the base of the spine to start. Take your other arm, sweep it up, push the knee back, reach around. You're going to grip this opposite knee here. Now, if you're getting into the advanced portion, this is where you suck the belly in, lift that chest up, push that big toe flat right there. Then you're going to release the hand, grab the inside of the thigh, belly in, and twist. I don't know if you guys can see, but I think my right hand is gripping onto my left thigh right now. Twist, and change. I'll switch it up so you guys can see the opposite view. Okay, big toe nice and flat, heel is not hidden under hip. Anchor the arm, belly is in, chest is lifted, arm sweeps up, drops down, pushes the knee back. Grab the knee, lift up, release the hand, wrap it behind the back, grab that opposite thigh, big toe is down, and twist. And change. So I really hope you guys found a couple tips here that were helpful to you no matter what stage of your practice you're in. And if you are a bit more advanced, I hope that you found these tips even more helpful to strengthen your own practice once you're back into the studio. So I'm going to keep practicing at home here, guys. I can't wait to see you all soon.